Einen wunderschönen guten Abend, a wonderful evening here for race number 6 of the 10th season of the Apex Online Crossplay GT3 Championships here on the consoles, PlayStation and Xbox. And don't know why, but the last days or the last races it always rains here at the Apex guys, and today we are at the Hungaroring. Servus Furby, einen wunderschönen guten Abend. Ja, wie immer wird es einen Großteil des Streams auf Englisch geben. Wir haben 19 Fahrer und davon glaube ich nur mit Lavugga einen, der standardmäßig Deutsch spricht. So we are switching back to English because of the fact that there is, I think, only one guy who speaks German normally. Maybe some of the Dutch drivers are able to speak German, but I think for the rest and also for the Dutch guys it's easier to listen to my, let's say, interesting English. I try to speak English. Some will say it's not really English. It's Jinglish. Mix of English and German. Or like we say in Germany, Denglish. And we are just looking Bacsak, one of the, I think one of the Hungarian drivers. Currently, oh, he's only P17 in the championship standing. He missed race 2 and did not finish race 3. But another one, or another driver who missed 2 races is Gabriel, and he's still P4 after P3 and P5 in the first 2 races, and then P3 last week at Spa. But today he's only on 10th place. But I don't know if there are some drivers who had a dry track for their training session, so I think we will see the real standings then in the qualifications. And after 2 wins in the last 2 races, Martin was able to overtake Jared. But by the way, there is only 1 point between these 2 drivers. It's 428 against 427, and then we have Paul in 3rd place, the guy with the number 10 who's leaving the pits as the first driver, and he has 360 points, so he is 50 and a little bit points behind Jared and Martin. And he's exactly 70 points in front of Gabriel, because Gabriel stands at 290 points. This means 38 points in front of Guido, the Porsche driver. So we have the Mustang in the lead, followed by 2 Ferraris, then Lamborghini with Gabriel and the Porsche from Guido, followed by Overbeke, Chapman and Archibald, 3 guys with the Ferrari, and then we have Overtaker on 9th place with the next Mustang, and then we have Van Buren, Martins and X-Skills in the Ferrari, and the first BMW we have on P13 with the Polish driver Mac Mazur. And then we have the first McLaren with Arsen Popov, P14. I don't know where McLean is. The Aston Martin, we have Pascal with the AMG on P19. And then we have Komisarov with the... Oh, okay, we have... I think it's the first race of McLean. I try to find out... Okay, there is no information about McLean, I think. Okay, nothing to say about McLean, maybe. And here we have the... two of the three leading drivers, Paul and Jared. And the current leader with 1 point more than Jared. We have Martin currently P5 here, but this is just how they joined, or the order in which they joined. Oh, and if this isn't an outlap, it's not counted at this moment because of the cut. Ja, genau. Mein Englisch ist auch nicht das Gelbe vom Ei, das ist richtig, aber es funktioniert. Nee, du kannst ruhig auf Deutsch schreiben. Das ist kein Problem. Wie gesagt, wenn hier irgendwelche Fragen sind oder so, dann kann ich da auch gerne mal auf Deutsch was beantworten. Inzwischen sind wir übrigens bei 19 Fahrern. Ja, wir waren schon mal etwas voller, aber was soll's. Oh, and currently Paul is a little bit faster than Jared. Let's see if they changed this during the qualification. I think we will have no dry conditions, or I'm pretty sure that we have no dry conditions. Also, it will get less rain in the next minutes, but won't stop to rain. Then we have Popov P3 right in front of Dvorak and Barczak. The two BMWs on P4 and 5. And then we have one of the two Portuguesian drivers. This is MDR6, and meanwhile he is losing a place because Slater jumps between the two BMWs. Oh, and Guido. Now P3 for the Porsche driver. And Archibald also jumps between Barczak and Dvorak and in front of Campbell. Azur, the Polish BMW on P11. Then we have McLean and Martins. I think it's the second driver from Portugal, but I'm not sure. No, it isn't. And we have Lavuga now on 4th place. But behind his... two biggest... I don't want to say enemy, but it's the only word I remember. Oh, and we have Fürjans in front of Vermeulen, but behind Paul. So Paul currently the fastest driver here on this track in these conditions. And we have Westerhof, Korva and X-Skills without a time. Chapman new P6 right behind Lavogger. And Lavogger P5 behind Fiedler, Hyjans, Vermeulen and Christ. So the guy behind Lavogger is right in front of him, but almost half of a second faster. And the guy right in front of Gabriel is currently P1. Let's see if he is able to get a little bit faster than the 149.717. No, he isn't. Oh, and then he lost his place cause Jared with a new fastest time, and this is the end of the first try. I think they will come out another time like Martin do. I think they only take fuel for 2 laps or 3 laps, 1 out lap and 2 hot laps. But currently Martin only P3. And I think we will have some extra points for fastest qualification, and then it could be that Jared is already in the lead again. Okay, no, it's only an additional point for the fastest lap of the race. So no additional point for winning or to getting the hot lap. The pole position. Now there are some leagues where you can get 2 extra points, but not here at the Apex Online Racing Crossplay GT3 Championship. So, and we have X-Skills with a counted lap, not the fastest, but okay. And this brings him up to P17. And now we have Westerhof, and he set the 10th fastest time. So P10 for the number 72, and Hyjans is starting a new hot lap. And we can have a look at the 4.8 kilometers and the, I think, 13 corners. Oh no, 16, sorry. Yeah, but she's this track is really famous because it's part of the F1 calendar since I don't know, to be honest, since I can remember. Or maybe there was some years where they don't drive here, but to be honest, since a few years I don't watch the Formula 1, so I can't tell you, but most of the people know this from the F1. But also GT3s are driving here. I think also the DTM is driving here. Or drives here, I don't know. So meanwhile we have Popov in front of Jans, and now we have a double lead by Vermeulen and Jans. Yeah, but still the only 148 by Jared. And Paul with a new personal fastest lap is jumping in front of wie ich mag es, wie du versuchst hier auf Englisch zu schreiben, und das gelingt ja auch gut. But are there too many? Yeah, okay, it's the section around the start finish line is a lot of slow corners, but here, for example, these are, I would say, not so slow corners. Ja, man merkt, glaube ich, dass es eine F1-Strecke ist, weil mit genügend Abtrieb, nicht Abrieb, kannst du die, glaube ich, ganz gut fahren. So, and now we have Jans right behind a slower car, one of the BMWs. Maybe it's Dvorak. Oh, and he's waiting to start lap 3. So not only third hot lap. Oh, and we have Guido right in front of him. He is currently P4. Also a little bit faster than Popov, 100th of a second faster than the McLaren. Oh, and Paul a little bit faster, 300ths of a second faster than Jans, and so we have Paul between Jared and Martin. But still a 149. Oh, and we have Overbaker joining the server. Yeah, I think it's a problem of the GT3s. So I think with the, for example, this part of the track is really, I think you can go flat, not in the rain, but when it's dry you can go nearly flat through the part where we was a few seconds ago, and this is probably easier with the F1 cars than with the GT3. So yeah, it's brake, gas, brake, gas. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, but look at the small gaps between P2 and P3 and P4 and P5. Gabriel, a little bit more than 4/10 of a second lower than Popov. And is Paul able to attack Martin the next time? No, he is P3 at the moment. Guido P4. Is Jared able to do another? No, he isn't, because he is ending this lap in the pits. And so we have Dvorak and Slater and McLean and X-Skills. I think these are the 4 drivers. These have to be the 4 drivers on the track at the moment. And at first we have number 18. 2 minutes left. I think it's enough time for all of these guys, cause a lap shouldn't be longer than 2 minutes. Dvorak, oh, he is able to jump up 2 places up to P7. Fastest BMW so far. And here we have Slater and McLean together on track. P13 and P15 at the moment. Oh, and Slater jumps up to P11, and I think McLean stays on P15, but I'm not sure. So, and then we have our starting grid. We have Overbaker P20 right behind Martins. Then we have Kurva with the AMG X-Skills on P17. One of the Portugal drivers from Portugal, MVR6 Racing on P16. We have McLean in the Aston Martin P15, Barczak in the BMW on P14, right behind or beside the Scottish driver Archibald. And the next BMW with Mazur P12, Kendall Slater P11, close to the top 10. And there we have Westerhof, Lachko, Chapman, Dvorak, Lavugar, Popov, List, Hitler, Williams, and on P1 we have Jared, who wants to get P1 also back in the championship stand. So now we do a little commercial break and then we are back with 1 hour race action here at the Hungaroring. So see you in a minute. So, und dann sollten alle wieder zurück sein. So, I think everyone is back here. Oh, and look at the weather. It could be interesting because we will have rain in half of an hour. So, maybe exact at the halftime of the race we will have some new conditions. And then is the big question, who changed the tires at the right situation and who is too optimistic and who is too careful. So let's see. And here we have the two leaders of not only this race at the moment but also of the championship chip. Not Stip. Then we have Paul. So we have P1 and P2 flipped and P3 is P3, and then we have P5 on 4th position and P4 on P6. And we have Popov between these two guys. And Dvorak, Chapman, Latschko and Westerhof. Oh, and Overbaker. Not only too late for the qualification, but also too late for the start. Or maybe there is the rule that you are not allowed to start from the starting grid if you're not setting a time. I don't know. Maybe this is the reason why Overbaker is starting out of the pits. I think, oh, and there we have Dvorak with a spin right in the formation lap, which is not as bad as in lap 1, but it's a little bit I don't know what peinlich means in English. Embarrassing? No. I don't know, but you know what I try to say. So it looks a little bit funny always if this happens. And I think he will be a little bit more careful now. Also, we are already getting in the double file formation. So yeah, I think the hardest fact at this track that it's hard to overtake. I think also the Mustang will have some problems here on this track, because the straights are not that long that he can show his high speed options. You know what I try to say. Maybe on this straight here. So let's see what happens at the start. I think it's really important for Jared to stay in the lead, not fall back behind his teammate. Look at this. Oh, looks like the... yeah, okay. The Mustang goes the long way, and so we have Jared still in the lead, but here comes the next attack by his maybe teammate. Oh, and Guido already in 3rd position, so I think he was able to win 2 positions. And Lavuga behind Dvorak, but in front of Popov. So I think Popov lost 4 positions, or at least 3. Chapman P8, then Latschko and Westerhof. Then we have Slater McLean, who wins 3 positions, Mazur. And oh, Barczak lost a lot of positions. Oh, and not only positions, but also the car is a little bit... oh, and now we lost the car. And I think it was it? Oh, it was Westerhof. New P10 Slater and McLean P11, and Westerhof is gone. And meanwhile we have 7 and a little bit 10th of a second between Jared and Martin. Oh, and Cordova coming in for his pit stop, and also Martins and VR6 Racing. Oh, and we Westerhofen joins back in. There is a big gap between Dvorak and the rest of the top 5. 1.5 seconds between Paul and the BMW, and then we have Lavugger in a fight. Not really against Dvorak, but to be honest, a little bit more against Popov. But now Popov under pressure by Chapman. Maybe the good news for Gabriel. So he's able to stay focused against Dvorak. And I think he's praying for another mistake by the BMW driver. Oh, and Popov is losing P7, so Chapman now P7 with the 29 Ferrari. But also here at the grade it's hard to attack the BMW for... Oh, and here we have the fight between Martin and Guido against Paul, so 1.2 seconds between Hyjans. Oh, I think it's more, it's 2 seconds between Hyjans and Vermeulen, and less than half of a second between Guido and Martin, so I think there was a mistake in turn 1 by Hyjans. Oh, and look at this, some bumpy driving by Guido over the chicane here. And so he's losing contact to Hyjans. But Paul isn't able to use this and attack the Porsche. And then we have 2.3 seconds between Dvorak and Paul. And then we have Lavugger, Chapman, Popov. But a second between Chapman and Popov. And look how close it is. But the BMW with a good acceleration out of the corners. And so no way for the Lambo to attack the BMW without any mistake by the BMW. Oh, and this corner the Lambo is a little bit faster and is getting closer. But again, here when it's about acceleration, the BMW is winning against the Lambo, and on the brakes the Lambo is getting closer and closer. You can see it. Look how close it gets on the brakes. And then he's losing on the straights. And meanwhile Lavugger must be aware of the Ferrari behind him. And maybe not only for the Ferrari but also for the McLaren. Meanwhile we have more than a second, nearly 2 seconds again between Hyjans and Guido. Oh, and there was a little mistake. But no problem. For 1 second it looks like Chapman can... Oh, then Chapman is able to attack. Oh, Gabriel, and again. Let's I don't know why, but there is always a lot of space between the Apex and the Lambo. This gives Chapman the space to get on the inside. Guido and Paul fighting each other for P3. Then we have Wojak and the other guys. Yeah, and then we have McLean on P12 again. Well, back behind Archibald and now really close in front of the Polish driver McMazur. Then we have X-Skills P14. A little bit less than 4 seconds in front of Barczak, and Barczak tries to stay outside the pits until the rain starts. Good decision. I think the three drivers, Kurva, MVR6 and Martins, with the problem that they have to come in a second time, maybe. But I don't know, maybe it stays dry enough to stay on the dry tires, I don't know. So yeah, it's a little bit of a lucky game, I think. Oh, and we have a DT by Kurva. Maybe it was because... No, this isn't Kurva. The pink Mercedes with some shortcuts, and so he is coming into the pits for a little lesson. And here we have Chapman, who wants to get in front of Lavogar, cause he can watch how Dvorak is getting away. Meanwhile, it's more than 1 second between the BMW and the Lambo. And the number 29 here, I think he's able to drive a little bit faster at this part of the race. Maybe better tires. And of course Gabriel stays on the inside. Maybe, but no option for a switchback. Perfect corner by Lavogar. Meanwhile, we have more than 3.5 seconds between Jared and Martin. Oh no, it's only 3 seconds left. And we have the fastest lap so far by Hyjans. Meanwhile, also Popov is losing against Chapman, also 1.1 seconds between the Pfeffer and the McLaren. Oh, and now it's again 3.6 seconds between Jared and Martin and 4 seconds between Martin and Guido, but only 0.4 of a second between Guido and Paul. And only 0.2 of a second between Chapman and Lavogar, and Popov behind Chapman is able to close the gap up to the Pfeffer. Oh, and meanwhile they again behind Dvorak, so only a little hello by Dvorak, and now he's losing again. And we all waiting for the rain. If we are so more than 10 minutes. Anywhere between 10 minutes and 30 minutes it will start to rain, I think. Yeah, maybe in the next 20 minutes. So I always have one eye on the big screen, one eye on the map, and the third eye I have on the weather conditions. So to be honest, I have a headache. Oh, and look how close this is between these three drivers. And still the fight between the Porsche and the Ferrari with the number 10. So Chris and Paul still fighting for P3. And I think it will... Oh, this was crazy, but... Oh. Ay. Yeah, maybe a good try by Gabriel, but now he's losing one position. Whoa, this was close. So only P7 for Gabriel. Good try, but bad ending. Yeah, I just want to say we have to wait till the pit stops to see some changes here, but maybe we don't have to wait as long, because I think Chapman will try to go... Oh, this was just a little mistake by Lloyd here. And is Lloyd trying the same thing against Dvorak like Gabriel the lap earlier? No, he isn't. Oh, meanwhile, Barczak right behind X-Skills. Fight for P14, 1.2 seconds behind McLean. And by the way, we have another driver joining this pack, and this is Latchko. So not only 4 drivers anymore, but 5 meanwhile. And number 6 is coming from the front, but I think this is a driver who is left, cause Paul and Guido still fighting each other. Oh, and Popov now side by side with Latchko. Oh, and there is the lapped car. Ooh, be careful, guys. I think it's MVR6 Racing, and here we have the next try by Latchko against Popov. Oh, and look at this first row of, for the fight between Dvorak and Chapman. And now side by side these two guys. But the better side for the BMW. But ooh, now it will be interesting. And now it will get more interesting. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and Gabriel could use the little contact between Dvorak and Chapman to get back on P6. Crazy shit here. So no one can say it's boring. Maybe the track is boring, but not the race. And Latchko stays in front of Popov. Oh, hey, this is the wrong person. Why bumping Gabriel? It wasn't the car who bumps you. So, yeah, you can be angry against Dvorak, but not against Gabriel. Gabriel was fair all the time, I think. And we are here for a long time. Oh, by the way, Paul, meanwhile, 1.1 seconds behind Guido. 12 seconds in front of Dvorak and the rest of these guys. And now we have the next try. Ooh, and here we have... Oh god, my godness, what's going on here? So 4 cars in an overtaking situation. The two... Oh, and now it's over. And this is crazy. So Latchko crashes Chapman, and so we have Gabriel now on P5. And Popov P6 and Dvorak P7, Latchko P8 and Chapman only P9 at the moment. No, yeah, P9, cause this might be Miguel. So... crazy. I think it was just a matter of time when something like this happens. It only was the question who is the wrecking ball in this situation, and it was Latchko, to be honest. And Paul back right behind Guido. So after a little gap between these two, they missed each other, and Guido was a little and drives a little bit slower to get back his shadow. And yeah, then we have Lavugar, and he could use the fight between the BMWs behind him to get away a little bit, and I think this would be a short fight. Also Latchko now in front of Dvorak. .3 seconds behind Gabriel. Or maybe not 1.3 seconds anymore. Then we have Chapman and Slater. But where is Popov? Oh, Popov fell back up to P15, so maybe... not only maybe, I think there was a big mistake by Popov. I'm not sure if we watch the replay for this. And X-Skills now fighting against McLean, and then we have Barczak and Popov. So Popov right in the next clutch. But Barczak a little bit handicapped, cause his car is a little bit damaged, and so I think it's just a matter of time until Popov will get in front of Barczak, and then he will join this fight. And meanwhile we have Lachko fighting against Lavugar, 2 seconds in front of Dvorak, and Dvorak is fighting against Chapman. So, and less than 10 minutes till it starts to rain. Maybe it's really exactly in 6 minutes, so this would be interesting. Yeah, but still bad news for the 3 cars who did their mandatory stop already. Maybe a good news for Westerhof. Ooh, and here some little wiggle waggle. Oh, and here comes the rain. So, hello rain. And now let's see what happens now. Who will get in the pits at which time? So Jared and Martin stays outside the pits. Also Guido and Paul don't come in for their pit stops. And then we have Lavugar and Lachko. Yeah, maybe this is the option for the cars from behind to gain some positions by making a good decision. And by the way, here we have X-Skills fighting now against Popov. And Popov on the inside. Now back on P13, and X-Skills and McLean are the first drivers coming in for their not only mandatory but I think tire change pit stop. So let's see if it's a good or a bad decision. Oh, and look at this. Quite aggressive way to get through the chicane by Paul. Yeah, there will be, at the moment there is no question who get P1 and P2, but the first question is who gets P3. Okay, still no pit stop by the first 4 drivers. Oh, and meanwhile Lachko is losing against Lavugar, so I think Lavugar is a little bit faster in wet conditions than the BMWs. Still more than 1 second. And then we have Dvorak against Chapman fighting for P6. Later stays outside the pits, and Archibald is the next one who coming in for the tire change. It will rain till the end of the race. We'll get more rain at the end of the race. So I think at least at the end of the rain everyone will get in. Oh, and now we have Barczak. And he survived. Oh, till now. And was overtaken by X-Skills in the pit stop entry. Let's see if this goes well for X-Skills. No, it wasn't X-Skills, it was Popov. No, it wasn't Popov. Who is the red Ferrari? Oh, I think it was Martin. No, it wasn't Martins. It was Westerhof. Okay, crazy. Oh, and we have Jared and Martin also in the pits. Guido coming in for his mandatory stop, and Paul lost a lot of time against Guido but stays out of the pits. Interesting. I can't remember or can't explain why. Gabriel and Latchko are coming in. Chapman coming in. Dvorak stays outside the box. Or the pits, sorry. Chapman in for his mandatory stop. And also Slater coming into the pits. And also Mazur. So only Dvorak and Fiedler with no pit stop at the moment. And here we have Jared back on track, and still a big gap between Jared and Hyans. Then we have Guido back on track, also Gabriel done with his pit stop, stays in front of Latchko. Oh, and I think... Oh, but no, wait. It's Mazur? No, it isn't Mazur. I think it's Barczak, and he is one lap behind. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but good news for Gabriel, bad news for Dvorak. No, Latchko, sorry. Because Lavogar is in front of Barczak, and Latchko is behind the back marker, so I think the gap is getting a little bit bigger. So, and now we have Paul in for his pit stop, and let's see the fight between Paul and Guido for P3 right behind Jared and Martin. I think also Dvorak will come in for his pit stop now. Or maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, I think they are. Okay. So, and now it's the fight between the number 10 and the number 97. Or P3. I think Gabriel not able to attack Paul. As long as Paul did a normal in-lap without any big mistakes. And now we have Guido back in third position, and yeah, Gabriel will stay behind Paul. But still in fourth position. And then we have Latchko in front of Dvorak, and Dvorak right in front of Slater, who jumps up to P8 during the pit stops. Great by the number 666. And meanwhile he's in front of Lloyd Chapman. And then we have Stephen Archibald, the Scottish warrior, the Celtic warrior, on P10. 8.7 seconds in front of Popov, sorry, who is currently a second in front of Mazur. And then we have Exgirts in front of McLean. Overbake, it jumps up to P15, but here we have a big mistake in the first corner. And then Barczak, MVR6 Racing, Martins, Kurva, and because of his disconnection, only P20 for Westerhof. But meanwhile, we don't have so many close fights. One is here between Dvorak, Slater and Chapman. So let's stay here. It's 8.9 seconds between Paul and Gabriel. 4.8 seconds between Gabriela Vugar and Lachko. 9.5 seconds then between Lachko and Dvorak. Yeah, and then we have Dvorak followed by Slater and Chapman. And at the end we have the fastest lap by Jasmine. So currently we have, without this race, only with the fastest lap, we have the same points for Jared and Martin, and so we have a new leader at this point of the race with 6.2 seconds between these two in the championship standing. So after one race with Martin in the lead, we will have Jared back in the lead, which is, by the way, at least the fourth. Just wait. Yeah, which is the fourth change of the leader in this season. So we are starting with Paul, who could win the first race. Then we have Jared as the second leader, and then Martin, and now back to Jared. Meanwhile, it doesn't look like Kendall is able to attack the number 18. At the moment, he has to defend himself against Lloyd. Yeah, and all the other gaps in front of them are getting bigger and bigger. So for the moment the rain wasn't really good for the racing action. Now we have the position change between Lloyd and Kendall. Lloyd E8 meanwhile. Oh, and look at this. It's 6.666 seconds between Jasmine and Martin. And Martin with a lap car. I think it's Martin's right in front of him. And then we have 17 seconds up to Guido here at the end of lap 20. And then we have more than 11 seconds between Guido and Paul, but also more than 10 seconds between Paul and Gabriel. But also Gabriel is winning against Lachko, 7 point anything seconds. And then we have Dvorak Oh, and Barczak. Is it... maybe it's a bug, but it looks like Barczak with another crash after his pit stop. And then we have Kendall 3 seconds behind Dvorak and 0.7 of a second in front of Chapman. So Kendall back on P8. So still the fight between Lloyd and Kendall. Yeah, 20 minutes to go, so enough time for Lloyd to attack Kendall. And I think they get closer to Barczak. And meanwhile, I'm pretty sure that there is a damage on the BMW. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. And this is the big problem here at these conditions. If you're not on the perfect line, there is more water and it's more slippery. Also, the curbs are more dangerous than in normal conditions. Oh, and now Barczak. Ooh. Yeah, and this was the next little mistake by Kendall, and Lloyd says thank you. Yeah, but meanwhile it's more than 5 seconds up to Dvorak, who is 7 seconds behind Lachko, and Lachko meanwhile more than 9 seconds behind Lavuga. So the rain is not really good for the action. Only this fight here. Yeah, also more than 9.5 seconds between Guido and Paul. And again, a little bit more than 6 seconds between Jared and Martin. The gap between these two guys are let's say, even. For a long time it's around about 6 seconds. Oh, and by the way, Westerhof gone the second time, and I can't understand that he's not trying to come back a second time. Now 17 minutes to go. And I think Popov tries to close the gap between him and Archibald. 1.7 seconds left between the number 619 and the number 23. And I always want to know, is it a 619 between because Rey Mysterio? Or is it just because of another reason? So please, Archibald, tell me, or maybe I will ask him in the Discord. And meanwhile it's only 1.1 seconds between Popov and Archibald. But 2.3 seconds between Kendall and Lloyd. And all the other gaps are getting bigger and bigger. Oh, and now we have Popov right behind Archibald. So Popov tries to get back in the top 10. I mean, it's more than 6 seconds up to Kendall. But it's only a few, let's say, centimeters up to P10, and now he gets this position, and the Scottish Warrior only P11 anymore. So he shows the other drivers how to do an overtake here on this track. Good job, and now he starts the chase for Slater. 5.8 seconds. Let's say 5.9. So let's see how he's able to do, or what he's able to do against Kendall. Ooh. But stay careful. Oh, look at this. 0.7 of a second. And this also with this little waggle there. Is he able to close the gap up to 4 point anything seconds? No, he's losing a little bit against Kendall in the last part of the track. But Kendall is losing against Chapman, so maybe there is a little light for Popov. Meanwhile, Chapman only 3.5 seconds behind Dvorak, 3.8 seconds in front of Kendall, and 5.1 seconds again between Slater and Popov. Maybe we can watch the one or the other fight at the end of the race. Let's see. Oh, 2.9 seconds between Dvorak and Chapman, less than 3 seconds, and here we have 4.5, so also 0.6 of a second faster. So the second part of the race, or the track, is Popov area. So the interesting fact is that the Ferrari is winning against Dvorak, the BMW, in the second sector, and the other Ferrari, the number 666, is losing against the McLaren in the second sector. .3 seconds and 4 point anything. Oh, 3.9, so yeah, maybe there will be 2 more fights, one for P7 and the other one for P9. Bad news for Dvorak and Slater. But to be honest, exactly the things we want to see. .9 and 3.2 seconds. And there is the red BMW, Dvorak. By the way, Lavugar 14 seconds behind Fiedler, but 16.1 seconds in front of Lachko, so no I think there is no danger for the top 6. But then we have Chapman running behind Dvorak and Popov 2.8 seconds behind Slater. And here we have 1.8 seconds between Chapman, the number 29 we are watching, and Dvorak, the number 18, in front of him. Let's see the next sector. 1.6 seconds. .3 seconds, and behind we have 2.1 seconds. So again, half of a second from Popov, faster than Slater. And here we have less than a second left between Dvorak and Chapman. And more than 5 minutes left. So I think 3 more laps, maybe 4, I don't know. The leader Jared is already in the last corner. So I think 4 more laps for these guys, including this lap. And 1.8 seconds between Popov and Slater. Here we have 1.1 seconds again. .2 seconds between Slater and Chapman, so Slater really flying. So Chapman and Popov, the 2 reigning gods. 6/10 of a second left, and behind we have 7/10 of a second left. And we have the 2 other drivers. And they are coming. But in this lap, no way for Chapman or Popov to get in front of the other drivers. Ooh, little mistake by Kendall. Chapman stays behind Dvorak. Oh, and Slater lost his position against Popov, so Popov on P9. So the next position switch from Popov after overtaking Archibald. It needs some time, but at the end he is able to overtake Slater as well.
Alright, man, the leader is on the final
And
lap.
we have the final lap by Jared. Yeah, but this means one more chance for Chapman to get in front of Dvorak. And here we have the new and the old leader. So after 1 week on second place, he's back on top of the championship standing. Was equal with Martin because of the fastest lap, and now because of win, I think number 4, 3, 4, I don't know, back on top of the championship standing. 7 seconds in front of Jared. I think the hardest part of the race was the first 3-4 laps, and then he was able to get away from Martin. No. Oh, and what is this? Not really. The last lap and the third last corner, and he crashed. What the fuck? But still the lead, I would say. Oh, crazy. Barczak finished P15, P13 for X-Skills, P2 for Hyans, only 1.5 seconds behind Jared. What a crazy last lap. Then we have Guido in third position. Congratulations to the Porsche driver. More than 8 seconds in front of Paul. But both of them, Guido and Paul, were able to stay in front of Gabriel. Gabriel at least P5 after another hard race for the Lamborghini driver. And then we have Lachko on 6th place, and then we have the fight between Dvorak and Chapman for P7. But number 7 is number 6 today, or P6 today. So congratulations to Lachko after also a hard race. But at one position with a hard fight. I think Lloyd isn't happy with P6 for number 7. And Dvorak stays P7, Chapman with P8. Then we have Popov in front of Slater, though these are the top 10. And then we have Steven on P11. In the Polish BMW, McMazur finished P12, and then X-Skills, McLean, MVR6 Racing, Martins and Kurva. And I think we lost at least one other car. Yeah, it is Overbeker and of course Westerhof. Yeah, and this was the penultimate race of this season. So we have another race next week. And I would say traditional, we are at Kyalami. So the home race for Jared. And yeah, then we have, I think, 2 hours to go. And no qualification course. We have a reverse grid. But to be honest, I don't know exactly how it works. Because yeah, it's really interesting, let's say it like this. So, and yeah, they just kicked us out of the server, so yeah, let's call it a day. Let's say good night to everyone. See you next week for the race at the Kyalami Grand Prix track. I don't know the exact name. Yeah, and I don't know if we have any other streams this week, so maybe, maybe not. So keep an eye open. On the other hand, we see us next week for the big final here of the Apex Online Crossplay GT3 Championships on the Consoles. Bye bye. Also von daher macht's gut. Jetzt noch auf Deutsch. Das war's für heute. Ich habe keine Ahnung, ob ich die Woche noch irgendeinen Stream habe. Wir werden es sehen. Ansonsten nächste Woche großes Finale hier in Kyalami. Ich glaube 2 Stunden sogar.